Hello, this is Dawn, and I'm saying hello to all the Spiritual View crew. And today I wanted to talk about the new moon in Virgo because I know it's a little ahead of time, but it is coming up. And the thing that we should remember is that on September 2nd, because it's then exactly 2 weeks before the next full moon, which is an eclipse, we are going to actually be in eclipse season. So, or eclipse, however you want to say it. And this is important because we have that extra energy of Uranus stationing retrograde. And we will have just had on September 1st, Pluto going back into Capricorn on the 1st. So we have a lot of energy going on at that very beginning of the month. And so let's take advantage of that. So you can start thinking about what you want to maybe set as an intention for the new moon. What I want to do is show you the chart as we look at this. Oh, hang on just a second. I'm learning how to do this, so you'll have to excuse me because I am really new at this particular golden opportunity here. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, doesn't that look overwhelming? Okay, here we go. And here. Okay, so this is the new moon. And as you look, we have this at 11 degrees, 4 minutes in Virgo, right? So we do have Vesta near there, but I think that pretty much what we're looking at is this new moon going to be opposite Saturn, which is in retrograde over here. That is an interesting energy. And I think we're going to have some new beginnings. And the reason I believe that is because we have this Uranus stations the day before at 27:15, but it's actually going to be on from August 27th through September 7th at that same degree of 27:15. So the degree that it's turning retrograde on, it actually arrives at on August 27th. So this is going to be starting this really strong energy whenever any of the outer planets stations, either retrograde or direct. It gives a lot of energy to that planet, a lot more than it normally would have. So we're going to have a lot of unexpected things coming up. And then you have Pluto that's at that 29:59 degree. So Pluto and Uranus with an extra boost of energy, and Pluto being in Capricorn at that time, there may be some changes to some structures that are out there. Maybe some banking news, things like that. Maybe some Taurus and Uranus generally also indicate sometimes earthquakes. But I do take heart in the fact that this is actually a trine. So whatever these two are going to be up to, it's actually going to be to our benefit. And then you have Neptune at 29 degrees. So both Pluto and Neptune are at that 29 degree time. And I believe Neptune leaves that 29 degrees and goes into the 28 degrees on September 4th. So we do have this extra strong energy that's going on with this, as they say, small grand trine right here. Let's take a look at what I've actually got out my favorite reference book for the new moon. And what do you need to think about as far as setting new intentions? Well, you have to think about what Virgo means. And it's about health. It's about diet and exercise and establishing new habits. It can be about setting new goals for yourself on a personal level. It's very much about healers. So if you are having a problem and you want to find someone that's a healer for you, that's a good intention to set. during that new moon, even if it's maybe being guided to someone that can give you benefit of guidance in your ascension process, I guess would be the word to use. But I think of it more of just getting out there and finding your gifts and opening up more, and being part of that. I think part of that tribal energy. It's also very clear that Virgo has strong efficiency in organizing. I mean, there's no one that can make a better list than a Virgo. And one of the things that you need to be also aware of is that Virgo tends to be very self-critical. So when you're setting this new moon intention, one of the things that really I think is a very beneficial intention is being less self-critical. We give each other, give ourselves way worse of a time than we would to someone else that is having the same situation. So we judge ourselves very harshly. And that would be something that you can set an intention for with the new moon in Virgo. Also, they are very about perfectionism. They're very about finding the best way to do something. Gemini, which is also kind of the sister sign, is very much about communication, and Virgo is too. But Virgo is a much it's very into that storytelling and getting the details and being very analytical. So I think that is something that you can look at. It also is a good time to set new projects for yourself if you have an intention to organize anything in your home, if you want to clean out the closets. I heard someone also talking about getting organized maybe within your home and in your workspace, but also in your spiritual practice. So that is something you can think about doing, is setting new intentions regarding that for your spiritual health. Paperwork. Now, we will have Mercury will be direct, but will still be going through its shadow a little bit when this new moon takes place. So at least Mercury is going forward. It is in Leo. It's going to be going back over the degrees that it has already been over twice. And with that, because the new moon is in Virgo, we need to think a little bit about what is happening on any of the degrees that Mercury will be going over, if you have anything at the end of Leo or at the beginning up to the 4 degrees of Virgo. So here you can see that Vesta is here at this 4 degrees. So I think especially something regarding your home, because Vesta is there. She's one of the very common asteroid goddesses that exist in the chart. And to me, it's very interesting that this is the degree that Mercury stationed to go retrograde. So now on this new moon, that is where Vesta is. So I find that very perfect for setting a new intention for anything regarding your home and whatever your personal passion may be, because Vesta is about what lights us up. So if there's something that you want to find out about that you're really interested in, perfect time to start investigating. Between Virgo, Gemini, and Scorpio, there should be no secrets in the world if they had their way. So it's also about critical thinking and discernment. For those that are on this path, it will be much harder for people to get by with fibs or anything like that, because we've become now human lie detectors. So I think that's a very interesting part of this new moon, because Virgo's about discernment. Virgo's about, noticing those little details that don't quite add up. So that is one thing you need to take into account. You also can make setting intentions for getting your paperwork done. Now that we've had all of these issues regarding paperwork and getting things fixed and getting those small details of our life all organized, especially now that Mercury is direct, we can take care of that stuff that was bugging us the past couple weeks. Now, focus. Virgo is very much about focus. I mean, into the small detail stuff. So I think that's an opportunity for you as well to see what it is that you really want to focus on, especially if you're learning something. Virgo is a great area for learning and for service. Virgo and Libra are very much in Cancer. Virgo, Libra, and Cancer are very much those signs that give way too much to others, to the point where they're depleted themselves. So setting boundaries, if you're a Virgo, is very important. I think that's something that you should also intend to do, because other people would have a tendency to take advantage of that because they don't want to do their own work. So very helpful, very conscientious, bringing order out of chaos. That's just a lovely sentiment. You do have Virgo does have a tendency to worry, and that is something that you can make an intention for. It can be somewhat critical. It depends on what other things that you have in your chart. So I would say look for the things that are at or around this 11-degree area of your chart in the mutable signs. So fortunately, mutable would be Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces. Anything coming up in those areas of your chart, that would be something that I think any new moon intentions for that particular planet or placement in your chart would be very effective. You also have workaholic tendencies if you have Virgo. So you need to take a look at that area of your chart that Virgo might be in charge of that house. So if you have workaholic tendencies and Virgos in your 6th house, you might want to set some boundaries with that. I am not going to answer work emails after 5 o'clock. That is something that you can do. What areas of your body does Virgo rule? Bowel, intestines, and digestion, your solar plexus. So it's very much you can be looking for a healer if you have any of those areas in your chart. And you can also ask or set intentions for getting a good diet going, a good health regimen going. So as well as that, I wanted to go back and take a look at the 12 houses. So if Virgo is in your 1st house, it's about maybe your body, your appearance, your identity, how you approach things in life, making new intentions regarding, I'm going to be setting a healthier example. I'm going to be eating healthy food. Virgo is very much about healthy food. And it's also, don't forget, an earth sign. So what if Virgo is in your 2nd house? What can you do to set an intention? Well, it's about how you make your money, what your resources are, getting those organized, getting your finances organized, and what your material possessions are. This is also a really good time to go through and clean out any of those things that you no longer need, because I think a lot of things going forward are going to be simplify, simplify, simplify. Now, the 3rd house is about communication, and Virgo actually, I think, is an even better written communicator than Gemini is. And Virgo tells a really good story. It gets the details in. It's also about siblings. If you and your siblings have an issue regarding being too critical of each other, that is something that maybe you can set an intention regarding. It's about the local community and any merchants or neighbors nearby. You can set intentions regarding that. Now, it's very, very connected to the home, and it's very interesting that Vesta is in Virgo, and it's at the degree that Mercury stationed retrograde, which is Virgo's um, planet, the ruling planet. So I think that Vesta is very, very involved in this new moon. And Vesta is very much about home, family, your self care, um, family, deep roots, ancestral trauma, even if you're working on those things for yourself in your shadow work. Virgo in the fifth house, um, romance, love, play, creativity. I would say that if that is in your fifth house, be less critical of your creativity. Bring more joy into that area of your life. Self expression. Again, I think that is more of your tendency to be so harsh with yourself. Sixth house, health, fitness, pets. Maybe you want to walk your dog more. Things like that. Organization, and the service that you give. It's a very service oriented sign, but you can overwork. You can be too devoted to those other areas of your life and not make room for yourself. Again, I think that's something that you can also add into that fifth house. Now, relationships, marriage, contracts, business partners, equality, interpersonal style. A Virgo, you will have someone that looking for a partner that is in that seventh house of Virgo ruling that seventh house. It's very much about that person being um, very particular, very, they're a sharp dresser. That's the kind of thing that you're looking for. But the new moon also in the seventh house could be about starting new relationships. It's a new moon and Mercury is ruling it. And with Vesta very involved, I would say that is a good opportunity for you if you have Virgo in that seventh house. Now, in the eighth house, it's sex, intimacy, shared finances. The eighth house is very much the house of other people's resources and also of death and rebirth. So this could be about organizing mutual finances, um, getting the paperwork done of inheritance and and assets, um, doing loan applications, paying off bills. That area would be a good area to set goals for those particular areas in your chart. Now, if you have Virgo in the ninth house of travel, philosophy, higher education, religion, law, um, and other cultures, I think that you can set intentions for handling legal matters, planning a great trip for yourself to get away, and using your Virgo feeling called to a higher calling. You can utilize setting intentions for the things that you believe in that ninth house. Now, the 10th house, career, long term goals. Um, it can also indicate the father in the chart, but and fame. So if you have Virgo in that area of the chart, what intentions do you want to set for your career? What do you want to be known for in the world? Again, I would be careful about there's a difference between a career and a life calling. And I think you need to define those roles in your life. And Virgo is pretty good about um, the details of things, but I really think that there's a structure um, that needs to be separated from a job and your personal life. And you need to keep that as a very firm structure in your life. Now, with groups, friends, social awareness in the 11th house, that's the house of friends. That's the house of being seen. That's the house of connections and networking. So, what can Virgo do in this house? I think setting up a YouTube channel, doing something new, getting something organized for yourself in your business, making connections with other people in order to further your business, anything like that, or just making plans with friends. It can be as simple as that. I want to set an intention for making more plans to do things with friends. The 12th house, endings, healing, closure, spirituality, solitude, what's hidden, and the subconscious, limiting beliefs. So with Virgo in the 12th house, again, it's very much a house of service. You'll be surprised how many uh, people that have Virgo in that house deal with, especially if you have placements in that house, very much dealing with hospitals and um, prisons and getting away and having solitude. I think Virgo and being in that house would enjoy solitude in order to get some of their work done. So setting intentions regarding healing in that area of your life and what you can utilize the 12th house for. It's very much a good one for getting in touch with your spiritual side. So setting intentions for spiritual work would be very good in that 12th house. So I want you to think about those things as we move forward. And I hope that you feel free as I go back to this area of StreamYard and get rid of my stop sharing. Yay. Here I am. I'm back. That you utilize this Virgo new moon and realize that we're going to have a lot of changes coming up because we are just entering the eclipse season. Feel free when we're having any of the things for spiritual view to ask questions to find out what's going on, maybe regarding this new moon, maybe to ask a few personal questions about your planets in that particular in that particular sign specifically. We are there to help, and we are live on Fridays at 5 Eastern and on Mondays at 10 Eastern. And we do love to have conversations with you. So I hope to see you. I will see you maybe later on today because this is supposed to go out on Friday morning. So I look forward to seeing you again. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.